Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eddie, and there's something that annoys me about this Golf R, and that's the fact that not the last owner, because that was my friend, but 2 owners ago, I believe, that owner had a Euro plate here. And what sucks is that now I have not 4 holes, 5 holes, because there was like a bad attempt right here. So there's all these holes in here, and every time I wash the car, I see them, and they annoy the living out of me. So I thought about putting plugs on it, but I'm not a fan of the plugs, especially because I have that 5th one there anyway. So it's like, with that in mind, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my own license plate. And of course, this car is already on a Decepticons theme going, so I'm gonna continue with that. And why not just have some more fun with it? There we go. And just a quick note for you guys. Typically, I would advise to remove the bumper so you can drill these holes out off the car first, because ultimately you don't know what's behind the bumper. And the last thing you need is to be drilling through it and drill through your parking sensor harness. And then you find out your drill just cost you in the hundreds of dollars to replace that harness that you just fried. But clearly, it's already been done on this car and the sensors are fine. You can always verify by just sticking any small thing in there. And just feeling like I can feel that the foam pad that's in front of the metal bumper is there, but I have plenty of space all around it. I don't feel like it's snagging on any wires. So I think we're okay here. Now, the reason that I'm drilling into it is because this hole, for example, is all wallowed out. I think this one as well. So I don't trust these holes to actually have enough meat on them for the hardware to bite. So I'm actually gonna drill them out a little bigger, and I'm gonna put nut certs on it. The last time I used this was actually when I did the speaker install on the Jetta, which is an incredibly good tutorial on how to do that and how to do sound deadening on your door panel. I highly advise you to take a look at it. I'll go ahead and link it down in the description for you. It's really cool. But that's the last time that I used this, which was over 2 years ago. And so I'm really looking forward to using it on this. These are the nut certs that came with my gun. What the gun does is that it actually pulls back and it crimps down on this area, and it comes down and whoop, and you end up with a threaded hole to grab onto when you thread in your hardware. The problem is that these here are meant for sheet metal. So they're really made to clamp down on something that's maybe a millimeter, maybe a millimeter and a half in thickness. So if I were to use this RIVNUT on that bumper, which is probably what, 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little thicker than that, that would either damage my tool or it would cause spiderweb cracking on the bumper itself, which we don't want that. So I went ahead and ordered some larger RIVNUTs that are the same thread pattern, M6, but these being taller, what's gonna happen is that they start crimping down from further back, so that way it'll actually bite down and not cause any issues on the bumper itself. You need to make sure that you match your RIVNUT to the thickness of the material in which you're trying to put them on. Okay, ran into a problem. The die that I have here to use the M6 is not long enough to bite the thread at the end of these longer ones. So because of that, I can't use these. I would have to order a new die, which I don't want to do right now. I want to just install this and get it over with. So I am going to go ahead and risk it and use the shorter ones. But I went ahead and did a test run, and look at that. You see, here, let me do a comparison side by side. You see the squish area, so you know how that works. So that's all the way compressed. I don't have to compress it all the way. I just need it to bite down hard enough so that I can thread on mounting bolts for a license plate frame. I'm not torquing it down, so this will actually work, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with these now. I only want to do this one time, so make sure you measure everything, make sure you have it in the place where you want it. Once you start drilling holes, that's it. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the top of the frame is lined up with the crease of the bumper here. And then obviously I'm trying to center it. So we're gonna have to drill some new holes there. But at the end of the day, the frame is still going to hide the existing hole, so that works out. Once you have it where you want it, just go ahead and hold it in place real good. Then we are going to mark our holes. All right, that's one. All right, we're gonna start with a 1/4 inch bit just to get it nice and big. And then we're gonna step up to a 3/8. That's the closest I have to the size that you would use for an M6. Whoa. Nope, I'm gonna have to step it up. Too big a jump. We're gonna have to go slightly bigger and slightly bigger. All right, we're gonna go for an in-betweener at 5/16. Okay, now we go to 3/8. All right, now it's the fun part. M6, here you go. Look at that, perfect. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, now comes the scary part, the actual squeezing. All right, so I didn't bring it down all the way. I stopped halfway because, yeah, that's plenty strong right there. Okay, I won't lie, that was a little scary at first, but honestly, it came out great. The top is nice and level. I'm happy with how that turned out. And best of all, it hides all the other holes that were there. Now we put the plate on. Whoa, whoa. All right, guys, I think this project turned out great. And again, it wasn't so much about putting a license plate. It was more for covering the nasty holes that were already there. So with that said, you may or may not care or like the license plate, and that's okay, because it's not about that. It's about how to install it, and I wanted to show you guys the option of how to do it with RIVNUT inserts. You see, it was pretty easy, and the best of all is that it's solid. I don't have to worry about this thing coming off like, with the holes on the bumper that were so wallowed out that there's no way it would have held. So this is nice and solid. And this is something that you can take for your Volkswagen and pretty much any other car. So with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And like I always say, more projects coming your way for the Golf R and the Jetta. Thank you so much.